Artificial intelligence can write poetry, create images, and even talk to us. But there's one simple thing it can't do: dream. Why? The answer goes back to one of the most fascinating mysteries of the human brain. Look, when we fall asleep at night, our brain doesn't shut down. Quite the opposite. During certain stages, it becomes incredibly active. One of the most important of these stages is called r.e.m, or rapid eye movement sleep. In this state, our eyes twitch beneath closed eyelids. Brain waves start to resemble those of being awake, and that's exactly when most vivid, colorful dreams happen. Scientists call it active sleep or paradoxical sleep because while the body is calm and still, the brain is working like a fully powered engine. Research shows that this is the moment when the hippocampus, the center of memory, replays the day's experiences, rebuilds neural connections, and stabilizes new information. In simple terms, during r.e.m sleep, the brain strengthens what we've learned, stores important memories, and by creating imaginary stories and images, builds a safe space to rehearse our emotions. That's why some dreams are filled with fear, joy, or deep sadness. Our brain, while we sleep, is actually practicing real life. The human brain is a masterpiece. It contains about 86 billion neurons, each connected through thousands of complex chemical and electrical links. In contrast, what we call an artificial neuron in AI is really just a simple mathematical formula that processes zeros and ones. As scientists often say, these are closer to pseudo-neurons than real neurons. Now let's talk about energy efficiency and learning. The human brain runs all of this enormous computation on only about 20 watts of energy, roughly the same as a low-energy light bulb. Artificial intelligence, on the other hand, requires hundreds or even thousands of servers with massive power consumption just to train a large model. And even then, it can't learn from just a few simple examples. For instance, to learn a basic task like recognizing a cat in an image, an AI system needs to be trained on a huge number of examples. The human brain works very differently. A child only needs to see a cat 2 or 3 times, and by the 4th time, recognition comes easily. But an artificial neural network may need millions of cat images to achieve the same result. Learning methods. Our brains learn in many different ways, sometimes through trial and error, reinforcement learning, sometimes through observation, supervised learning, and sometimes in a completely intuitive way. Even hormones and neurotransmitters influence how we learn. Artificial intelligence, however, mostly relies on a single linear method, the well-known algorithm called backpropagation. In other words, it lacks the rich diversity of biological learning. And the most important difference, consciousness. We humans have self-awareness, we feel, we experience emotions, and we know who we are. But artificial intelligence, even when it writes poetry or paints pictures, has no feeling behind what it does. It is simply performing calculations. As scientists put it, this kind of intelligence is a mathematical process, not a lived experience. So the human brain is not just a processing machine. It is a living world full of emotion and awareness, something AI has not even come close to matching yet. This brings us to the core question: why can't artificial intelligence dream? In humans, sleep does not mean the brain shuts down. Quite the opposite. When we sleep, the brain enters a highly active state. Internal neural networks begin to simulate experiences without any external input, and that's where dreams are born. Artificial intelligence is different. Artificial neural networks are only active when they are given training data. After that, everything stops. There is no spontaneous activity, no imagination, no daydreaming. Interestingly, scientists ran experiments on neural networks designed to somewhat resemble the brain. When these networks were forced to keep learning continuously without any rest, the system became unstable and started producing strange, meaningless outputs, something similar to hallucinations. But when researchers added noise, simulating the kind of neural chaos that happens during deep sleep, the systems became stable again. Simply put, today's artificial intelligence has no phase called sleep. Algorithms are trained directly on data, but they never enter a spontaneous, imaginative state. That's why they cannot replay memories or process unconscious emotions through dreams the way humans do.
Animals dream too. You might think that dreaming is something unique to humans, but scientific research tells a different story. Studies have shown that all mammals, from humans to dogs and cats, and even dolphins, enter the r.e.m stage of sleep. During this phase, their brains are active just like a human's, and their brainwave patterns closely resemble those of wakefulness. For example, when a dog twitches or moves its legs while sleeping, scientists believe it is actually running in a dream. The same is true for cats, and even laboratory mice have been observed activating neural patterns during sleep that exactly match the pathways they used during the day while running or exploring. This shows that, like us, they relive their daily experiences while they dream.
But here's an even more interesting point. Despite the fact that we dream several times every night, when we wake up, we forget more than 95 to 99% of those dreams. This has been documented repeatedly in medical sleep research. When we wake up, our brain acts like a filter, allowing only the most vivid or emotionally intense parts of a dream to remain in short-term memory. The rest fade away, like mist disappearing under the morning sun. That's why we sometimes remember a dream clearly in the middle of the night, yet by morning there is no trace of it left. And now we reach the most astonishing part of the story. Despite hundreds of years of study, from Freud and Jung to modern neuroscience, scientists still don't know exactly why we dream. Some theories suggest that dreams help process emotions and consolidate memories. Others believe dreaming is a form of survival rehearsal, where the brain simulates situations in a safe environment to prepare us for real-world threats. But the truth is, there is still no definitive answer. Sleep and dreams remain one of the great unsolved mysteries of the human brain. So, friends, we've reached the end of our journey. In this video, we saw that sleep is not just a simple form of rest for the body. Throughout the night, the brain remains highly active, especially during the r.e.m stage, where vivid and colorful dreams emerge. During this phase, the hippocampus replays daily memories, strengthens neural connections, and helps stabilize learning while organizing our emotions. We then compared the human brain with artificial intelligence. We saw that the human brain, with about 86 billion neurons and consuming only 20 watts of energy, is a world full of flexibility, emotion, and self-awareness, while artificial neural networks are merely mathematical models that require millions of data points to learn and are still far from true understanding or subjective experience. And now we understood why artificial intelligence cannot dream, because there is simply no concept of sleep built into its structure. Without data or external input, IA shows no spontaneous activity, while the human brain continues to create entire imaginary worlds, even during sleep. This difference reminds us that there are still secrets within the human brain that machines cannot comprehend. Now it's your turn. Do you think artificial intelligence will ever reach a point where it can experience something like dreaming? Do machines even need dreams, or is this ability meaningful only for living beings? And a more personal question, what's the last dream you remember? I'd love to read your thoughts and experiences in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. It truly helps me create more content like this. And if you want to be among the first to see future videos about the mysteries of the brain and the world of artificial intelligence, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Thank you for staying with me until the end. Until the next video, take care of your mind and never forget, your brain is still the greatest mystery in the world.